Yeah, so to be already explains a lot, because to be means to drop the doing. So who is doing? The mind, yeah? The mind usually is doing. So when the mind surrenders, the being comes forward.
Timeless.
Timeless. It's also very accurate, because presence is not linear. See, presence is eternal now. Yeah, it's eternal now. And the now can be experienced in various degrees, depending on your openness of level of consciousness. So the now can be as narrow, and the depth and the openness of your consciousness will expand and deepen into the eternal now.
Wow, God. God.
God.
Yes.
Yes, presence consciousness is actually Christ consciousness. It is not the absolute. You could say it is a child of God, a child of the absolute. Because through presence consciousness, that is where even your soul opens up to you as a direct experience. And through the soul, you open to awareness, consciousness, and full consciousness, which is the absolute God's consciousness. It is becoming aware in your direct experience that God is here, that something greater is here. Receptivity. It takes a degree of receptivity, yes. It is more of the energy of surrender. So receptivity is a good word, but surrender is a bit more accurate. Because to open, to realize presence consciousness, you must totally surrender all that you know. So what I mean by that, you will not lose all that you know, but you will lose the identification with what you have gained as knowledge, as experience, as energy. So to come to presence consciousness, one must surrender. The surrendering of the mind, yeah, the surrendering of energy, the surrendering of identification with your chakras, even the surrendering with the heart in some ways. Okay, so because presence is a much bigger consciousness. And for that requires that it is a great receptivity, but it also requires a true surrender. And the way I can explain that is letting go of identity. Because even on our journey, in our spiritual journey, we're always evolving, yeah? We're always gaining more experience, more knowledge. And maybe you've had an experience of of a heart opening. Yeah, and you want to kind of hold that to be part of you now. You know, maybe you have an experience of connectivity. Now you feel so connected with the earth, so connected with everyone. And you, in some ways, we can be identifying with that. But presence is beyond that. Because presence is beyond elements, is beyond senses. Could also say it's beyond objects. This is why when we come to presence, we experience space. So the space expands, and we start to bring awareness to what is in the space, which are the energies, the thoughts, the identifications, chakras, everything is in the space. But when you open your consciousness to realize, I'm not those chakras. I can see the chakras, they're within the space. And you recognize that you are that space. So even if you move, even if you walk, you are that space. You are boundless. Boundless space, which brings stillness, not the dual stillness, not the stillness when we sit down for meditation, the stillness that is always here. And the silence, which is also part of presence consciousness, the silence that always resides within us, even if there is chaos in front, even if there is movement in front. But you are now aware of a deeper place within you, which is that inner unconditioned silence. With that also comes unconditioned peace. You could say it's the beginning. It's the beginning of knowing this even vibration within you, which is unconditioned peace. It comes as part of that consciousness, the peace that is always within. Doesn't matter what is in the space, could be some maybe resistance, or could be some judgment, or whatever the mind can bring up, it doesn't matter. The mind can bring up many issues, many problems, many complications. But the moment you realize you're that space, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what rises and what falls. See, it doesn't matter of what movement, because you're already aware of peace, stillness, and silence as that space. If you can be totally present, like totally immersed in presence, you are already creating your perfect future. Because the future is created by your every millisecond of choice that you make in the present moment. So if you are aligned, in a space of peace, stillness, silence, perfection as a frequency, I'm speaking not just, it's not a mental thing, it's a consciousness. If you can truly be that, you are already creating the perfect future. So when you're ready, you can gently close your eyes. Shift your attention to your breath into your spine. So breathing very softly up and down your spine. Could also be centering yourself, and at the same time, no need to remember anything we spoke of, nothing to hold, and nothing to understand. So letting all of those words and discussions to slowly fade away. At the same time, softening your spine, allowing a bigger flow from your crown center down to the root and flowing back up. Not doing anything, just allow the naturalness. You also allow your inner self to relax. Your inner self to come to a place of comfortability, settling in a comfortable space inside you. Notice the space around your breath. So shift your attention with this flow of breath and the space around it. And start expanding that space, resting, relaxing, a sense of openness and neutrality. Come to a place of neutrality. So at this point, if the mind is still active, it's okay. Don't fight the mind. Don't change or try to do anything. Let it be and let it flow, just like water flowing. Step behind that water flowing. Continue to soften your space and expand. Expand your inner space. And if you feel some energies, they are also like water flowing. You are behind and the water is flowing. Your space is growing and nothing to do. Yeah, remember, there is nothing to do. If something distracts you, step behind it and shift your attention to the space around it, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Expanding your inner space and taking a moment to pause, to stop. If you still feel some momentum, it's okay. If you don't touch the momentum, it will slow down. If you don't pedal the mind, it will slow down. Just shift to the space. We are slowly settling the energies to meet stillness, to meet your deepest available stillness beyond movement, beyond anything. And drop into that stillness. Lose control just for the sake of this meeting. You might feel some dense energies being released. Instantly, lightness starts coming through, but slowing down into stillness and space. From your crown center is already here this violet light. Violet flame. It is also a theta vibration, just like presence. With your softness from your crown, allow this violet light to permeate into your head and into your brain. This is a light that transmutes lower densities. And allow this light to come through your spine. Violet light down your spine. This helps to clear what's in the way. And from your spine, opening to your whole energy field, the sphere of energy field around you, with violet light. Relax. And allow this sphere of violet light to expand into the outer space, the space outside of you. And if you notice in between some density, contraction, or anything between the inner space and outer space, you can diffuse it, transmute it with violet light itself until everything disappears and all that remains is empty space. Maybe a deeper sense of peace arises. A sense of restfulness is here, with nothing to do but a great big space of openness can bring forward your being. Your being as I am presence. Where peace becomes very natural, where silence is truly valued, nothingness but great aliveness. No inner, no outer. Diffused into one vast space. And everything is seen within it. All the sounds, all the movements is seen within this vast, peaceful and silent space. And stop once again. Pause and stop. This is the real present moment. You are not traveling anywhere. You are right here. Entering a consciousness beyond time, where everything is already perfect. It is complete. Because presence, the true present moment, allows you to see the duality of life happening. But it's a deeper recognition that you are not that. Silence, peace, perfection is much closer to you, much more natural. Because it is your being which is already perfect. It is a galactic being. You could say it's as wide as the skies and even beyond. The space can be expanded in 360 degrees as far as you possibly can. And all of that is you. You are here, but you are everywhere at the same time as that space. Nothing to grasp. That is the world of the mind. Nothing to hold. Resting in silence. And one last, who is aware of this space and vastness? Who is aware of this peace, tranquility? The awareness that shines the light on all. And that is even closer to you. I invite you all to return, although we are already here. I invite you all to gently come back and bring with you this space, this peace. Notice every depth, but don't leave the meditation somewhere there. Integrate it into this present moment. Bring it all with you right here and now. And even if you open your eyes before the mind kicks in, look around you for a moment with the eyes of the present moment. And stay open to what is unfamiliar. And don't move. Just stay there. open to what is unfamiliar. I do sense a nice restfulness where our energies rest. You are closer, more real, more here.